Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I'm Ryan. With me is
Dedicate. And today we're talking about Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger episode 12. So we get a quick recap. The Rangers are excited by their new power, but Titamigo is jealous of Demon Volcano.
what prompted this?
Well, they're basically just sitting around talking about him. At
Like, like I don't understand this kind of jealousy though. It's like they made a new friend basically, but there's no incentive here for Chiramigo to feel like he's being replaced.
yeah. Uh, uh, this episode was a bit filler. I mean, it's still good and fun.
Like the whole episode is pretty much just cliche.
Yeah, but funny.
Yeah, and it
But
definitely
yeah,
had some good moments,
last
especially with Wiseru.
yeah, yeah. Like we said last episode, could have totally been one part.
Yeah, kind of a. This episode is a bit more of a letdown, coming off of how good last week's episode was.
Yeah, but so Waizuru still has plans on using last week's Minosaur's ability. And he has some fun banter with Crayon. Then the brothers show up and roll call. So the Druidon just retreat. Waizuru tells them to bring all 5 Rangers if they want to fight. And then he does typical evil echoing laugh, but it persists a bit too long. And then we get the open.
So I do like that we get some actual like interaction between Rizeru and Crayon here, especially since Crayon references what it was like being with Tank Joe. Uh, so it was nice to see the contrast there. And hey, we finally like actually see Wiseru fight for the fight here. He holds his own like decently well against Green and Black, but remember that this is the same guy that ran away in fear after he made Pink angry. So, like, I don't believe that he can take on all 5.
Yeah. Seems to be all talk.
Which is kind of his thing.
Yeah.
He just talks.
So they find the Minosaur host. He's a firefighter in training. The Minosaur is growing pretty fast. It turns giant. Ko, Asuna, and Melto. Ryusoul change and roll call. Then Tiramigo rushes in without being called. Just trying to show off. Because of the mist attack, he accidentally hurts Akirose and Toriken. Then Dime Volcano comes to back them up, which is when Waizuru activates his plan.
So, like, Tiramigo coming in and, like, acting on his own and be like, hey, I'm cool too. It's like, again, this feels unnecessary because they were going to call him anyways. Like, he didn't need to jump the gun like that. Like my problem with this is that this kind of trope of like, oh, this character feels like they're being replaced or something, works only if you actually see reason for that character to feel that way. But what we're seeing right now is Tiramigo literally just being a child crying out for attention, and he's like he's like millennia old. Like, he is not a child. He is not newly born. He is a guardian of the planet. I am totally down for humanizing the mechs and giving them personality. Like, I really like that. This was a poor execution of it. like it's so bad it doesn't even ruin the character for me or anything like that. I'm literally going to forget this even happened tomorrow.
True, true. Um, so yeah, Wiser activates his plan. The Minosaur uses his mist attack to project a purple female Dimetrodon Kishiryu,
All right,
complete with a bow and lips.
all right. This is for Vashi because he's not here to say it. Did they really sexy no jutsu the mech? And the answer
Yeah.
is yes.
Yes, it did.
Remember when I called this episode cliche?
Yeah. Demon Volcano just stops in his tracks because he has a crush. So the brothers bring the victim to Ui. His dream is to be an actor, but he's training to become a firefighter. I guess to make his father proud. Kind of a Japanese thing. Wiser tempts Demon Volcano to join the Druidon, this pretty lady. But they're able to disrupt the mist and explain the situation. Kind of long-winded, but basically the host was kind of doing something that he didn't want to be. He wasn't being true to himself.
Right.
So the Minosaur can use that to deceive others.
Right. So this is the redeeming factor of this episode because like most of these episodes have, even if they're lighthearted, have like a dark undertone to them. And this is where this comes into play for this one, the Minosaur host. He's not given a lot of attention, but the young children, like, they can just look at the cool monster mech fight going on. But for those of us that can kind of read in the situation here, he didn't want to be a firefighter, but his dad was, and so he's kind of like trying to live up to those kind of expectations. And even though that's not what he wants to do, and he's not good at it, he's not like built for it, so that's where the negative emotion's coming from, because he's pushing himself into something he doesn't want. And it's really good. This is like, this show isn't blowing me out of the water, it's not breaking any new ground, but it's still good. And that's one of the reasons why I like it. It does these dark undertones that give it more depth.
For sure.
Also, something, sexy monster lady.
Yeah. So Demon Volcano fights back, but he isn't strong enough alone. Red asks Tiramigo to combine with him, and basically says that he's obviously number one to him, which motivates him. Then we get Kishiryu, Demon Volcano. Pretty awesome, giant flaming swords like Gigantoo. The Minosaur continues to use its mist attack to disguise itself as Ui, Asuna, and Melto. Red finally attacks when it's Melto. Poor
Right,
Melto.
okay. So, I really feel bad for Melto. Like, that dude is gonna have an inferiority complex by the end of the show at this rate.
Yeah. So, Black suggests that they use the mist to their advantage and superheat it, and the Minosaur's defeated. So the host wakes up at Ui's. She encourages him to follow his dreams.
Subplot that didn't matter, Ui knew him in high school.
Yes. He was here below. And of course, while she's in his face, the dad walks in and starts asking questions.
Right? So, I love that. I love seeing that. Because all I could think about was when Ui wanted the Ryusoulgers to live with them, and the dad, like, went up and basically, like, went up to Komi and, like, thank you for being her friend. It's like, oh, but this is where you draw the line. This.
Yeah. So Melta wonders who freed Demon Volcano, and we find out it was the Wandering Armor, Gaisor, working with the
Specifically,
Druid.
the Ryusoulgers don't find out, but we cut to Wiseru and
Yes.
Creon, and Guy Sorg walks up to them.
Yeah. But clearly they don't get along. They're just working together for convenience. Episode end.
So Wiseru and Guy Sorg kind of get into a little spat, and Wiseru holds his own. But I believe that like Guy Sorg could have ended that fight at any moment if he was taking it seriously. Like, from everything we've seen from Wiseru, I do not believe that guy can actually hold himself in a fight. Like, yeah, he held himself well against Green and Black when he was defending, but he was mostly... He did, like, counterattack a few times, but for the most part, I don't believe that Wiseru could hold himself against Guy Sorg if he actually, like, tried fighting him.
Yep, I agree. But who is the new host for Guys?
That's a good question. It could be, like, the sixth member that we're going to get. It could be a new villain. It could be Ui's dad. Like, that would explain, like, what's going on with him.
The memory loss, but
it wouldn't explain why Guy
take off the armor at will.
It wouldn't explain that, and it would not explain why he was helping them. But you know, that's an option on the table. It's kind of a dumb one, but it's there.
Yeah. But we'll see. Next episode looks interesting.
Kind of.
So,
it looks like it could go in an interesting direction, but I'm also kind of worried that it could just end up falling short like this one did.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I hate to end a podcast this short, but there's nothing else to say. I was kind of hoping Vashi would make it tonight so that we could at least, like, hey, how do you feel about the show so far? Because I don't think he's been enjoying it that much.
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean, we had him on Rider.
Yeah,
And yeah, he tore into that pretty good.
But yeah, sorry, this episode was just a bit too bland to have anything real to say about it. So thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider Zio. Definitely gonna have some stuff to talk about with that one. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.